starts with your people and creating a great customer experience, and then turning that into customer loyalty and retention. And you do that through a differentiated experience. You do that providing, different services and a level of experience that other dealers don't.
We're fast, friendly, fair, and fun here at Toyota of Tampa Bay. It puts a smile on our customers' faces. They're amazed at some of the amenities that we have. They're really amazed at the hours of operations. That's very convenient for them. That's one of the things that make them smile, along with, while they're here having their services done, a number of things that they can do. They can have a snack from our cafe. They can watch a movie in our theater. They can have their children play in the kids zone. They could get a manicure. They could also even get a neck and back massage after a long day.
People want to feel like they're being paid attention to and their needs are being met, and that's where this store really succeeds.
What I've done is put together a golf cart that has fast-moving items, for example, the filters, chemicals, wiper blades, batteries, to keep the mechanic in the stall as much as possible.
The golf cart is not a parts delivery system. It's actually a parts counter that rolls around the shop. We have a computer on board the golf cart. We have parts on board the golf cart and a counterman basically working on the golf cart. When the technician approaches the golf cart, he can get any number of fast parts, batteries, windshield wipers, recall parts. We try to keep common stuff that's fast moving on the golf cart.
And it's all about the right guy too. We've got the right guy behind the wheel on that cart. He's truly looking for it to succeed. He is the second most productive parts counter person that we have in the store.
The technicians love the golf cart because, number one, they're able to interact with someone who understands parts in the middle of the shop. It saves them time from having to walk back and forth to the counter. They're able to quickly get estimates, and most of all, the guy that runs the golf cart helps them do their job. He'll identify if brake lights are out on vehicles, he can take returned warranty parts back onto it, and he just basically is another set of helping hands in the shop. Once an ASM identifies that we have a repeat repair situation, he puts a large yellow sticker on the top of the repair order that says RR, standing for repeat repair. That repair order is then given to the shop foreman, who identifies it as a repeat repair. The history is then checked. We then identify which technician worked on the vehicle, and then the shop foreman works hand in hand with that technician to identify what the problem is on the car. With the problem being identified as something that's our mistake, we then acknowledge that to the customer to let them know what happened, and then we try to make amends by either a free oil change or a detail or a tank of gas on the vehicle. If we identify it's not something that was caused by the previous repair, we do make up an estimate for the customer, present it to them in a way that they understand that it wasn't something that our technician did wrong. We might also offer them a discount of some kind for having to come back to have additional work done.
Our dealership is set up with 5 different buildings, so communication amongst the departments, amongst even people inside the department can be difficult because our area is so large. So what we found was the best way to do that is provide every single employee in the dealership with an email address and communicate via emails.
Status checks are a great example of how we actually use email. On the hour, one of the girls goes through the service lounge and determines if any customer needs a status check, and it's emailed to a distribution list, which includes all the department heads, all the service advisors, and all those people that are actually involved in that process. This allows us to react immediately to the situation with the customer. We probably generate anywhere from 150 to 175 emails. After you get used to each of the emails, you begin to pick up on when an email becomes an issue and when it does not become an issue. When you get the second lounge report 10 minutes after the first one went out, you know that there's an issue with that email. You don't have to necessarily read each and every single email. It's merely a glance to make sure that everything is going well with your business.
We have something like 25 or 30 distribution lists that we use on a daily basis, from our used car reconditioning process, our new car delivery process, our WEO process, lounge status updates, service wait times. And all of these things go to better inform the employees on what's going on in the dealership currently so that they can better take care of our customer base that is in the dealership at that moment.
One of the greatest part of the email communication system is accountability. No one is going to say, well, she said this, they said that. It's completely documented. So everyone understands the measurement that's being applied to them within the store. When you can get 135 people wired into communication where they understand everything that's taking place in the dealership at any point in time, it's a fairly powerful proposition.
We found, even with 2 shuttles, some days we would have 30, 40, 50 customers that needed to be taken to work. So, you know, our general manager, Jack Brennan, came up with an idea where a salesperson might be able to, and we stumbled across it. Hey, listen, have one of the sales guys take your customer. And we did some brainstorming on it, and eventually turned into, we can get a sales or service customer to their locations faster with a sales associate taking them than an actual shuttle van.
The neat thing about the shuttle for the customer is that it's unique to the customer. We get to build a little rapport with the customer as well when the vehicle's in service, to and from picking up or dropping off.
It provides us an opportunity to get a salesperson in front of a customer, on average of 15 times a day. Over a month period of time, that's almost 200 opportunities that we have to develop a relationship with the customer that will not only have them coming back for service, but when they do decide to buy a car, they'll come back to our dealership because no other dealer in town will provide that level of service. In most dealerships and in most sales process, there's a point in time when the salesperson actually does a service walk with a customer. And in most dealerships, everyone says that it's done, and in most dealerships, it's not. We've developed a process over the last 6 months that we feel is a world-class process. And the reason being is because we actually can count the number of service walks or drives that we actually do on a daily basis. We start every single test drive with every single customer in our service drive, and we introduce them to a service advisor who does a professional presentation on exactly why a customer not only wants to buy a car from World Toyota Scion, but also wants to have their vehicle serviced at our dealership. We measure this on a daily basis. We approximately get anywhere from 25 to 30 drives through the service department every single night. This is a report that's emailed not only with the numbers, but the exact salesperson and the exact service advisor that actually did the presentation for each customer that went through the drive. This has definitely helped our business by making sure that they're completely and utterly comfortable with our process, where they're going to service their car in the future. And it definitely sets us apart from those other dealers in the market that don't.
The write-up process started 7 years ago with a lot of help from my Southeast Toyota representative, Eddie Osborne. What I saw is that service advisors a lot of the time waited for a customer to approach them. So I immediately started the whole process with the customer has to be greeted at their door before the door is open. It's not their own greeting, it's World Toyota's greeting. Welcome to World Toyota, my name is, how may I help you today? You know, we get them out, we do a specific walk-around process. The whole time they're doing this, they're holding a wireless service advisor tablet. It's very, very process-oriented. They have to go through each step. When they get the mileage off the car, for instance, they have to turn the tire to the left so that they can check tread depths. They're going to walk around with the customer to make sure that the customer takes ownership of some of the things that they're seeing. If we see a dent ding that our collision center may be able to benefit from, the customer is explained that by a service advisor who understands how to quote that business. And then when we get, if a customer says, yeah, you know what, I'd like to get that $75 door ding fixed, our service advisors have another distribution list that they shoot to our collision center. So there's service advisors teamed up with specific collision estimators. Our collision center has afforded us the opportunity to tell a customer, I can have that door ding fixed for you in an hour if you'd like. So we have 3 departments that are working together to make sure that the customer can get that complete package. And they're going to finally finish up with menu presentation, tire presentation if needed, and the customer signs on the tablet itself. So there's, again, a sense of, hey, I understand exactly what I'm getting. And the service advisor has an opportunity to really provide out of the normal across-the-desk type sales situation, where we're going to be talking to the customer in their comfort zone, at their vehicle, and showing them the things that we're seeing. And we can actually process customers substantially faster, not losing any customer service, but faster than your average dealership. From that point, it actually shoots an electronic copy of the service repair order to the shop, and we have computers in the shop. We do all electronic multi-point inspections. So what happens is a team leader or technician pulls up that information and goes through a very, very itemized electronic inspection. And when he's done with it, we've got a very powerful tool where he's going to send that information to parts. Parts department is going to do what they do as far as pricing out any needed items. And then at that point, the parts department is going to shoot it back to the service advisor, who in a much quicker time frame has a completely prepared estimate and multi-point inspection for our customers. Instead of fumbling through a dirty, oily, handwritten that, maybe the technician is not a very good speller. He's going to have a very detail-oriented electronic word check, spell check document that a service customer can click approve himself. The service advisors are actually, handing the pen and just say, here's going through everything, just tell me what you'd like to have done. So that the customer can take some ownership and it's clear and concise. There's no misunderstanding, an electronic document. So, and then we can email that multi-point inspection to the customer at the very end as well. So it's been a very powerful program for us, and the customers seem to be giving us very positive feedback.
Our family's philosophy has always been that when somebody's here in our organization, that they should have a career path. We make sure that we're constantly speaking to our employees about what their personal objectives are, not just what our objectives are for them personally while they're here. We do a lot of hiring and promotion from within. It's something that we strongly believe in. We're constantly trying to foster and nurture the relationships we have with our people.
We have a very good career path here at Toyota Tampa Bay. We have many of our teammates who have started, whether it was in our service drive as a porter, who have now transitioned into our Express Lube Center, from our Express Lube Center into a flat right technician, ASE technician, certified Toyota technician, and have also gone to our service lane as an assistant service manager.
We're real proud of the fact that we can take people that we've brought in an initial employment at whatever level it may be and train them, teach them, get them to know the philosophies here at Toyota Tampa Bay and grow them. We've taken, for instance, one of our receptionists down there in the collision center and we've made her a full-service collision advisor in probably about a 3-year time period, and she's done very well. She's one of my top performers right now.
It's one thing for an organization to have great people in all the right places, but if you don't have the plan B, the backup, that person waiting there to assume that position and accomplish the same objectives, overall it's going to be tough for your organization to push forward into the future.